So a lot of copywriters, a lot of entrepreneurs are like, what the fuck is heuristic copywriting? Why do you call it that? What does it mean? Why does it work? So here's what it is. I use this example a lot. Symbols. Symbols are a huge part of heuristics. They're like the reference points that we associate things with. So it's like a lot of people associate antibiotics when they have a sinus infection or some sort of bacterial infection. They think antibiotics. If I'm a soda drinker, I will probably think of Coca-Cola. If I'm cleaning the windows, I'm probably, even if it's not Windex, I'm Windexing the windows. If I'm making a copy, I'm Xeroxing. Association, brand association. Symbols need to be associated with with your product, with your service, with what you do to solve people's problems, whether it's as simple as quenching thirst or as in-depth and complicated as helping them heal their guts, repair their guts, their second brain, right? Which has profound short and long-term effects in people's lives. But what is heuristic copywriting? It's giving people the opportunity to raise their hand, to identify, to associate, to start symbolizing whatever the problem is with the product that's being sold. And that's hugely important. Brands spend millions of dollars trying to achieve that brand association, so that when people think of this, they think of them. And that's heuristics. Symbols. We associate with symbols. So what symbol can you put in front of people to draw them in, to get them to identify and raise their hand, and then symbolize or associate your product, your solution, with the problem you can help them solve? How do you do that? How do you achieve that? How is that possible for you? Because then you can create a movement, critical mass, a revolution, right? The birds of the same feather flock together. So who are those people? What's that culture that you are tapping into and or creating, right? So you always want to think about, how can I get people, potential customers, potential clients, to associate their problem with my solution? How can I do that? Hey, what's up? So in answering that question, you always have to think about what story, which is the next part of heuristics. What story am I, your customer, your potential client, telling about the problem you can help solve? What is it? What's that story? It's not just about, these are the symptoms or these are the circumstances. What story am I telling about those symptoms, about those circumstances? What do they do in my life? It's just like the same thing with features and benefits. Features are what it is. Benefits are what it does for me. So what is the story I'm telling about the problem you can help solve? How are you going to help me start associating my problem with your solution? That's the power of heuristics. That's the power of heuristic copywriting. And that's why it can move mountains. That's why it can, I could, and it's not even a specific style, it's elements, right? But I could write it in cinematic storytelling. I could write it in scientific copy. It's like I could be hypey and grandiose. I could be really, really, really down to earth. It doesn't matter. What symbols can I get people to associate with? Ask yourself that question every single time you're sitting down to write copy, whether it's a post on Facebook or a long-form sales letter. Always ask yourself, how can I get people to associate with me, with my product, with my solution, with my service, with my story? That's why stories sell. They give people the opportunity to mirror neuron with it. Again, birds of the same feather flock together. If I've been through something that I solve that you are going through, I'm giving you, and I talk about it, and I'm open about it, and I'm vulnerable about it, I'm giving you the opportunity to see yourself in me and to become infinitely more engaged and interested in what the solution is, how I came about it, how I solved the problem. It's kind of tell a little bit about storytelling. So, storytelling, Rocky. I watched Rocky when I was 5 years old. How did a 5-year-old see himself in, what was he, 29, 30? How old was Rocky? I don't know. I was 5 years old and I saw myself in that hero's journey because it triggered things that I thought about. It triggered beliefs that I had about myself at just 5 years old. I saw myself. Stories are one of the best ways to convey information without standing on a soapbox and shoving it down people's throat, right? You give the opportunity for people to see themselves in the story you're telling, and that's how you get them. Same with a song. You know, it's like Beautiful Day, U2, that hook got a lot of people. Didn't get everybody. A lot of people hate U2. You can't you can't be everything to everybody, but how are you going to get me right now with what you're talking about to raise my hand? How are you going to let me see myself in you or in the problems that you've helped solve with other people? How can you get me to engage, to associate, to symbolize on that level? Anyway, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. I have so much more to say about it, but I gotta eat.